Good evening. Welcome again to So Into Bourbon. Charlie, what do we have before us tonight?
Tonight we have the highly coveted, sought after, always searched for Eagle Rare.
Eagle Rare.
The one and only.
The one and only. Seems to be one of the most sought after bourbons of our time, at least right now it is, right?
It could be because it's a Sazerac product.
Could be.
And a Buffalotrace product at that.
It is. Sazerac Buffalotrace. 10 years old.
10-year age stated.
Yes. Used to be a single barrel.
Way back when.
Not so much anymore. Do you know why that is, Charlie?
I do know why, because I peeked at the notes that Glenn meticulously prepared, but tell me why and I'll feign surprise.
So when they automated the bottling system, I guess for whatever reason, it made it harder to ensure that only one barrel went into one bottle.
That is really interesting.
So they took the single barrel statement off the bottle. Regardless, it is a 90 proof.
It is 90 proof.
Buffalotrace Mash Bill 1. So that's the 75 corn, 10% rye, 15 malted barley. Rumored to be. Same as Benchmark, Buffalotrace, E.H. Taylor, Stagg Jr. So if you like any of those, then you would probably, maybe like this one.
May I tell you a story?
Please do.
I think that Eagle Rare is, for our generation, the first premium gateway bourbon. And I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments after this episode, because when you figure out labels matter, right? And you figure out that a label will tell you a lot, and you start looking at it and be like, oh, this is cool. This is from a distillery that I know and I like, and oh wow, it's age stated, 10 years old. That means something. 90 proof, okay. And then when you consider the price point, coming up 5, 7, 10 years ago, this was a $20 bottle of bourbon.
So let's talk about that price point.
Let's talk about it.
$32 what I paid for this bottle at Walmart.
Great buy. But a lot of people will say, now the secondary value of this bottle is double that, at least. People will line up and clear a shelf if they can, but many people remember it being a $20 bottle.
Yeah, so I have a little story about this bottle. So way back, early 2000s, when I first started kind of collecting bourbon, this is one that I saw on a shelf, and ooh, rare. It says rare on it, so it must be rare. It must be good. So I bought it, set in my cabinet for a while, and this was back before I didn't drink bourbon neat. I might pour it in with ginger ale, which I still do from time to time, but I did. Drinking it neat wasn't my everyday routine. So this is one of the ones I pulled out one night with some friends, and I thought, well, we're going to open this bottle. I tasted it, and I did not like it. So I don't know if I've had it since then. And so I'm very anxious and curious to see how I feel about it now that my palate has developed and I'm,
and that's why we're doing this episode, is because Glenn told me that story and I said I have a very similar story. I haven't had it in a long time, at least 2 or 3 years. So let's revisit.
Interesting thing is I haven't even put this up to my nose yet, and I just got a nice whiff of a cherry cola note, which it must be coming from this glass because I don't see anything else open.
It's not me.
Ooh, there it is.
So color is very light.
Yep.
I mean, it's very light, but it's 90 proof.
It's honey color.
Wow. Boy, you weren't kidding.
That's nice, isn't it?
Do you know what I get? That is like straight wild turkey cherry cola funk to me, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Russell's Reserve.
Russell's Reserve.
The nose is so, and it's not that there's ethanol in the nose, but it's so pungent. I'm having a hard time. My nose is saying there's no way this is 90 proof.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's not a strong alcohol nose.
Which
but
there's
the
a little
fact that
bit.
it was sitting here and I could smell it.
Yeah, I mean, that is... all right,
Cheers.
let's see what this is about. Would you like to go first, sir?
I will go first. So my first impressions is the cherry cola kind of follows through on the palate. It's got a nice bit of spice on the sides of my tongue, mid palate. Very nice finish. Not bad. Not a bad whiskey.
Ooh, second drink. Drink's a little hotter than 90 to me, in a good way.
First drink of the day.
It is my first drink of the day. Maybe. No, it's my first drink of the day. My second sip. There's some really good kind of rye spice in there, a little spiciness to it, but that sweet cherry cola just kind of dances on your tongue. There is an oakiness there that is kind of hand in hand with that dark chocolate, and it just kind of cascades. It's just that chocolate oaky, and then that sweetness just kind of fades and you're left with this long lingering finish. It's a bottle worth the hype. I mean,
For $32.
I mean, that is a great bottle of bourbon. It really is. And it is a bottle that is worth, if you're going to stand in line, if you're going to try to win a lottery, if you're going to, buy stuff to get the right to buy, that's a great one. That's a great one. I'm going back.
It is the oak. The oak really comes through on the finish as it's still kind of lingering here. And the oak is really coming through, starting to get some of that bittersweet chocolate taste coming through.
The whole point of an age statement, right? And the whole point of aging bourbon is to get barrel character, which is another way to say flavor, right? We want flavor characteristics to come through. This is that perfectly executed. Like it's not over oaked, but you do get that good oak character. It's not bitter. You get kind of that sweet, semi-sweet dark chocolate, but there's still a lot of that really great kind of corn and spice in the front. I mean,
and I'll be honest with you, and we've talked about this before. 90 proof to me is almost, I'm almost to the point where
not interested.
Not interested in this. I think this may be perfectly proofed. At first, I thought, you know what, this may benefit from another 5 or 10 proof, but then I think it might be a little too hot.
I'm telling you, it drinks a little hotter than 90 to me, but in a good way. I don't like
caramel coming through now.
Yeah,
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
If you can find one, get one. That's my ringing endorsement. I mean, worth the hype,
Absolutely.
When people say, oh, we got allocated bourbons and 10-year age statement. Number one, 10-year age statements of any kind are hard to come by nowadays.
Absolutely.
And when you find them, you're going to pay a premium for them. So
look at the Jack Daniel's 10-year that just came out. What are you?
Oh, we will. We will.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, I mean, Jack Daniel's 10-year retails for what?
You're not getting it for $32.
You're not getting it for
$32.
And I know that there are more limited releases and comparing apples to oranges, but it does make me very happy that bottles like this still exist. And yes, the purists will say, I liked it when it was everybody liked it when it was a $20 bottle. I bought Henry McKenna when Henry McKenna first came onto the scene 3 or 4 years ago for $20. It's not $20 anymore. Get over it.
And Charlie, in today's
bourbon economy,
to find any bottle, $32 or less, that's drinkable.
You know what I say to that?
You're doing pretty good.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
See, how's that feel?
All right, rate it. Taking everything into account. The price, availability is the only obviously detractor because I don't like playing the game not anymore. There's too many good stuff. So I'm not waiting in line. I really don't want to do a lottery. I don't want to come sit it. And I'll give that a solid 8.
A solid 8, maybe even 8.5. I mean,
Okay.
it's right there. It's a very, very good bottle of bourbon.
Yeah, I would agree with you if it were readily available. I'm going to have to knock it for that. So I'm going to knock it down to a 7.25.
Yep. And it's not Sazerac's fault that there's stuff that people want to buy this. People want to buy this because it's good. And remember that when you're frustrated that you can't find your Wellers and your Blantons and your Henry McKennas, if it sucked, you could find it. There's plenty of bourbon out there that you don't want to buy.
And you know, it would be very easy for Sazerac Buffalotrace to take that 10-year age statement off to try to make it more available.
Gone. Now it's a blend of 2, 6, and 4-year stuff.
Right.
And
So kudos to them for not doing that.
yeah, keeping its integrity. And it's, again, to me, this was my first premium bottle that I bought. And a funny story, I remember when these came in 1.75 liters. And I actually still have one of those squirreled away. I have a single barrel store pick Eagle Rare. I'll try, if I think about it, I'll post a picture on our Facebook, but it's a 1.75 liter. And if you've never seen a 1.75 of Eagle Rare, it's this, only this tall. Like it's beautiful. Yeah. So I'll make a point to put that on our social media.
Yeah, I mean, this is, once again, if this had a $50 price tag on it,
I'd buy it at 50.
I wouldn't balk at that.
No, I'd buy that at 50. Sazerac, I would not.
Don't take our word for it.
Glenn, tell the people what to do.
Like and subscribe.
That's important.
Follow us on Facebook. Actually, so we have a Facebook group that's private. We are going to transition that into our new public Facebook page, which is now up. I haven't invited anyone yet, but you can search us out. Go follow.
We're inviting all you weirdos.
Absolutely. TikTok, Whiskey Realtor, Sowing the Bourbon on Instagram. And Charlie, tell them what they got to do.
You have to, and it's state law, keep your dang bungholes tight. Good night, everybody.
Peace out.
Eagle scream.
Charlie, what do we have before us tonight?
Tonight we have Eagle Rare. Cut.
One new notification from Amazon. U.S. National Weather Service has issued an air quality alert for
Alexa.
Salisbury.
Oh.
Me, Mr. Peanut, and
The Monopoly guy, which doesn't have a monocle.
Mandela effect.
Must be. Do not collect too much.
Him and the Berenstain Bears. Berenstein.
Berenstain. It's Berenstain, isn't it?
Depends on who you ask.
Where Eagles Dare. Take 6, Act 4. 3, 2,